Hello everyone. I decided today to talk about the two different kinds of crises in southern Cameroon again. I said again because I have talked about it so many times. I was invited by Equinox TV to talk about it and to explain it detailedly. And Mimimofo also published it on her platform. And also, I presented a video about it on my YouTube channel, TFA Talking Point. And today I decided to talk about it again because the killing is still going on. And we Southern Cameroonians do not know when all this atrocity and calamity will come to an end. We Southern Cameroonians do not know whether we should be finding food or trying not to get killed by our own brothers and sisters. Today, I decided to talk about it because the government of Cameroon, after listening to me, explained detailedly what they can do. I am talking about it again because after the Ambazonian heard my video, listened to my video, none of them have taken any concrete action to stop the killing and the torture, the burning and the destruction in southern Cameroon. I may mention in that video or during my interview with the Equinox TV that President Paul Biya cannot solve the Ambazonian crisis. President Paul Biya can only solve but the Anglophone crisis. The Ambazonian crisis is an ideology, and an ideology cannot be killed with gun and bullet. We can only kill an ideology through a positive change of mentality. I am calling them again today, if they will be fortunate to come across this video, and that is my prayer, that if we can share this video to the point that it would reach the presidency of the Republic of Cameroon, so that it will reach the leadership of Ambazonia and even some Ambazonian fighters, it will be beneficial to all Southern Cameroonians. If you look critically into the Anglophone crisis or the Ambazonian crisis, you will discover that more than 10,000 people have been killed, brutally killed, and more than 1 million people pushed below poverty line, and more than 250 villages deserted, burnt down, and destroyed. And many of our mothers, many of our grandparents, many of our children are living in the forest like Elime, searching and eating white fruit. You will discover that the Anglophone crisis or the Ambazonian crisis have pushed many of us out of our comfort zone. And we are in foreign country begging for food to eat. I am coming up again to call on the government of Cameroon to focus on solving the Anglophone crisis and not the Ambazonian crisis, because they cannot. Military option in southern Cameroon is one of the worst things the government of President Paul Biya one of the worst decisions they have ever taken. I am seeing on social media the military celebrating, those supporting the government of Cameroon is celebrating whenever the military killed one Ambazonian fighter. I cry because that will never end, because the government and the military of the Cameroon government can never and will never kill all Ambazonian fighters, because many are joining it out of frustration, many are joining it out of revenge, many are joining it out of hunger and anger. So I called on the government of President Paul Biya that the only thing they can do, and their hands will be cleansed and their conscience will be clear, is to call for a constitutional conference involving all Southern Cameroonians. And it should not be the issue of 10 regions coming together. It should be the issue of French Cameroon and British Cameroon coming together to talk and look again into the Fumba Constitutional Conference. I am calling on the government of Cameroon that this is the only thing they have to do. They should leave the Ambazonian crisis. After solving the Anglophone crisis, they will discover that wisdom will come and ways will be open for the Anglophone crisis for the Ambazonian crisis to end by itself. If the Anglophone crisis will be solved, the Ambazonian crisis will automatically end. And for the Ambazonian crisis, I say that what the Ambazonian crisis is an ideology. And the only way to kill an ideology is a positive change of mentality. And President Paul Biya and his entire government, the elite and the politicians, are not the one to bring that positive change of mentality. Those to bring that positive change of mentality are people like me, people who are genuine, are Ambazonian leaders. These are the people that can bring that positive mentality. If these people are satisfied, if these people sees that Southern Cameroon have gained some kind of autonomy, they can see into it that, okay, we can break down or hold on to our strategy of fighting, maybe to take a different strategy. And that different strategy will automatically end the killing. And during that period, they will be the one to call. The government cannot call the Ambazonian fighter to drop their guns. The only people that can ask the Ambazonian fighter today that drop your guns, we have a new way to solve these particular problems, are Ambazonian leaders. So the government focusing on solving this particular problem militarily cannot do anything. I'm going to explain to you how the Anglophone crisis started, and also when the name Ambazonia came in place, and when the Ambazonian crisis started. The Anglophone crisis started with the United Nations, with the British and the French. These are the people who started the Anglophone crisis. The territory Cameroon was divided as a piece of cake between Britain and France. They divided it without consulting any Cameroonians, by themselves, with the support of the League of Nations in 1922. And after the collapse of the League of Nations, the United Nations inherit the atrocity of the League of Nations. And Cameroon was placed under the United Nations transition territory. And all the United Nations transition territory gained their independence without joining any other country, without joining anybody. They decided they gain their independence. And then I'm asking the United Nations, why did they allow Cameroon to join, or British Cameroon to join independence by joining others? And today, they are divided. Part of British Cameroon are in Nigeria and part in Cameroon. So when this issue came up, when French Cameroon decided to, the United Nations decided to grant independence to French Cameroon, they did not even reason it out that this territory, French Cameroon and British Cameroon, is one territory. So if one is achieving independence, the other one also automatically should be achieving independence or joining them together to form one country as they were during the German colonization. No, they decided out of selfishness and wickedness and influence from France and Britain, decided to allow French Cameroon to achieve independence. And when French Cameroon achieved independence, we say if thousands of the country are on earth, there is no problem, so far as there is peace. And that is why British Cameroon were waiting for their own turn when they will achieve their own independence. They did not know that the British were behind struggling by all possible means that British Cameroon should join by Nigeria and become part of Nigeria as they were being governed during the Mandate and the Trusteeship territory a period. And then the British knew it quite all right that they would struggle by all possible means to take part of Cameroon. And then they went further and divided the territory into two, their own territory, British Cameroon, into two, into British Cameroon, British Northern Cameroon, and British Southern Cameroon. And when this period came in 1961, when this territory was fighting, our forefathers, they were fighting to achieve independence. Then the British, they went to the United Nations again, influenced the United Nations and told the United Nations that you must set but two different questions. The plebiscite must be conducted in two different, as if it's two different territories. And the United Nations came in that way, conducted a plebiscite in a British Northern Cameroon and another different plebiscite in British Southern Cameroon. Cameroon divided again as a piece of cake. And because of Nigeria and the influence from the British Northern Cameroon voted to join Nigeria and they achieved independence. That was on the 1st of June. If I'm not mistaken, it was in June that they voted to officially become part of Nigeria. And today, since 1961, they are part of Nigeria. They are in Nigeria, British Northern Cameroon. And British Southern Cameroon voted to join French Cameroon, their own brothers. And officially on the 1st of October, they officially become part of French Cameroon. And that is the day we declare and we know that it is an independent day for the people of British Southern Cameroon. And when it came like this, they become part of a French Cameroon and they form a federal government under the leadership of President Amadou Ahidjo. And President Amadou Ahidjo, because they were having a hidden agenda to form one Cameroon, to dissolve and assimilate the people of British Southern Cameroon. 19 days after, that was on the 20th of October, 1961, Amadou Ahidjo started breaking the union, the federation. It was two states, West Cameroon and East Cameroon. Amadou Ahidjo started by creating 5 inspectorates, dividing the whole territory of Cameroon into 5. And British and Southern Cameroon was one of that 5. 19 days after, and 11 years after, that was in 1972, he decided to dissolve the federal system. And all the values of Southern Cameroon disappeared. And the suffering started. The marginalization started. The assimilation started. The maltreatment started. Throughout the 25 years in office as president, Amadou Ahidjo did not create any Anglophone school, a university. And those who went abroad, studied in Nigeria, in Ghana, and other African countries, even in Europe, returning back home, Amadou Ahidjo would put them on a very low salary until they will have to go through the University of Yaoundé to be assimilated. When you assimilated, now you can receive high salary. And the torture and the maltreatment, the marginalization continue. And President Paul Biya came up in 1982 and inherited the atrocity of Amadou Ahidjo. Continue with it. Changed the name in 1984 from United Republic of Cameroon to Republic of Cameroon, the name that French Cameroon got independence with. And then this angered many Southern Cameroonians, and some of them gathered themselves together. And that was in 1984 that the name Ambazonian was first mentioned, when this group of people, Southern Cameroonians, joined themselves together and declared the independence of Southern Cameroon, calling that territory Ambazonia. And that is how the whole issue was going. Until they keep on fighting to stop marginalization. They keep on fighting to stop assimilation. They keep on fighting to stop oppression and repression. They keep on fighting from 1972. They keep on fighting to have a voice because they have been considered in Cameroon as second-class citizens. The maltreatment too much. And in 2016, the teacher came to discover that they do not have voice in schools, in Anglophone school. The Anglophone lawyers came to discover that they do not have voice in Anglophone court. That all the magistrate in Anglophone court are all Anglophones. And most of the lawyers in Anglophone court are Francophones. They do not even understand English, but they are judging Anglophones. And the teachers and the lawyer came out crying and asking the government to reduce marginalization, to stop marginalization, to stop the oppression, and to stop the assimilation. And the government wanted to do it their own way, the way they usually do it, militarily. They sent out military, they sent out police, they sent out this, and people were angry. And on the 8th of December, the CBDM gathered themselves to come. The Anglophone CBDM gathered themselves. They came to Bamenda. They first of all went on the 7th of December 2016 to Buea to tell the people of Buea that nothing is going on because people were already out. The students at the University of Buea, they were out, demanding for their own right and for oppression and repression, marginalization to stop within the university, and for some kind of money to stop extortion, to stop. And then also in Bamenda, people were out demanding for good route. It is their right. Yet the government decided, say this thing is coming something. We have to do it our own way, the CBDM way. And they went to Buea on the 7th of December 2016. It went on smoothly. While in Buea, rumors were already circulating. I was in Douala by then. I heard it, that Bamenda will not welcome the CBDM. But Filimuya and all the CBDM big wings in the Northwest region and in the Southwest region, they gathered and said, and they came to Bamenda. On that day in Bamenda, Mancho BBC came out to tell them that look at the route that you people are coming to, passing through. Look at what you have given us. They were coming up, and throughout the video that Mancho BBC, it spoke all the voice, all the things that he said that very day. He was asking for a route and a better living standard for the people of Bamenda. He never mentioned anything like separation or federation. But the CBDN came in, already prepared with their military and the Yandans and the police and all sort of kind of people. They came in with oppression, with torture and repression. And that is how fight started. Trouble started on that day. And these people, the lawyers and the teachers, they formed a coalition called the Consortium. And Abobala was elected as president. And this is how the whole issue started. When the things was tough and the police, they killed somebody in Bamenda that day. The Benskine, they came out, by rider, they came out and the thing escalated. That is how the whole issue started. It was still an Anglophone crisis at this point. Then Prime Minister formed a government, a commission called Gogomu Committee to go to Bamenda to solve the problem. The struggle, there was no way. Government, out of selfishness, still wanted to solve it politically and failed. And instead arrested Mancho BBC, arrested Abobala, arrested all the leaders of the consortium. These anger people now. And that is where the Ambazonian came in 2017 now, and say the matrimony will stop. And even the early hour of Ambazonia, there was still chance for the government to end everything. If the government could have just said, okay, we are going to talk on the form of government. Now that the Ambazonian came in, they did not. The Ambazonian now formed the Ambazonian fighters. And the Ambazonian fighter, the government thought that, okay, the Ambazonian fighter, when they were killed, they would not use tear gas, they would use live bullet to kill anyone. Abba, that is where everything escalated. And today, we are talking about the Ambazonian fighter. The Ambazonian fighter that have killed more than, if you, the government are sincere, the Ambazonian character have killed more than 2,000 military, including police and yandams, including warders and custom officials, more than 2,000, if the government can be sincere. And that is a crisis, and that is the Ambazonian crisis. Thousands are in the bushes. Thousands are suffering. And we are feeling the pain every blessed day. That we can no longer go to our own village. We can no longer, if we see our home, we can no longer do things. We have watched and see our people killed brutally on live video. And say, well play. Because of the failure of the government of Cameroon. Because of the selfishness of the government of Cameroon, because of the weakness of the government of Cameroon, because of the lack of wisdom of the government of Cameroon. We have seen tens of thousands of our own brothers and sisters brutally killed, buried alive. We have seen our village deserted, burnt down. We have seen all kinds of terrible things. And up to today, we are still seeing them. People being killed every blessed day. And the government and the Ambazonian fighters are on social media celebrating. The government will post, we have killed this. And the Ambazonian will post, we have killed this. Killing innocent people, killing one another, killing innocent people, the common people, and celebrating. It is a pity. It is a pity. It is a shame to President Pobia. Shame to the entire government of President Pobia. Shame to all the military of the Cameroon government. Shame to all the leaders of Ambazonia. Shame to all the Ambazonian leaders. The fighters. It is a shame to all the elite in southern Cameroon. Shame to all the traditional rulers in southern Cameroon. Shame to all the politicians in Cameroon. Shame to all those supporting this evil in southern Cameroon. Shame to the United Nations organization. Shame to Britain. Shame to France for letting this evil before these innocent people. Shame to all those supporting this.